Exclusion. Exclusion is a quiet, often barely visible phenomenon that can nevertheless deeply affect a person's life. It does not always happen through open rejection or direct words. Often it appears in small gestures, being ignored, overlooked, or left out of conversations or communities. Precisely because it is so subtle, its impact is often underestimated. At its core, exclusion means that a person or group is not accepted as part of a whole. There can be many reasons for this: origin, appearance, language, social status, interests, or simply being different. In a society that ostensibly values diversity as a strength, exclusion acts as a contradiction, and yet it is ever present. For those affected, exclusion often has serious consequences. It can undermine self esteem, create doubts about one's identity, and lead to long term loneliness. People may begin to adapt, hide parts of themselves, or question their own worth just to belong. In some cases, they withdraw completely, not because they want to, but because no space is made for them. What makes exclusion particularly problematic is that it is rarely recognized or named. While obvious forms of violence are clearly condemned, subtle exclusion often goes unnoticed or is even downplayed. Statements like, "it wasn't meant that way," or "don't be so sensitive," shift the responsibility from the perpetrators to the victims. This creates a cycle in which exclusion persists. Exclusion affects not only individuals but entire groups. In schools, workplaces, or online spaces, dynamics repeatedly emerge in which people are consciously or unconsciously left out. The internet, in particular, can intensify exclusion as anonymity lowers inhibitions and empathy is often lost. Yet exclusion is not an unchangeable fate. It begins to erode where people pay attention, listen, and act consciously. Large gestures are not always necessary. Often, it is enough to include someone, listen, or take a stand. An open and respectful attitude can help make invisible boundaries visible and, eventually, overcome them. Ultimately, a fundamental question arises: what kind of community do we want to be? One that uses differences as a reason to separate, or one that understands diversity as enrichment? The answer determines whether exclusion persists or gradually loses its place.